Intrepid explorer Robert Smith on location at Puma Marca, just outside of Ollantaytambo in Peru. I visited this site 2 months ago with the primary purpose of doing research on this little visited location in hopes of finding out what the purpose of the site was, who the people were who lived here, and get a general sense of the history of this location, because there's very little information that exists. However, another discovery was made while I was here. Well, in fact, it wasn't while I was here. It was when I was putting together the documentary when I went back home, and I was looking at maps of the region of this particular valley area, the Two Valley area, getting an idea about the terracing systems in reality. But what I found is the shape of this entire facility was that of a bird. And today, I've come back to the location to find out more information about that. I want to look at the angles, I want to look at the features of the bird, take photographs, understand even further each section of this facility to confirm without a doubt, with feet on the ground, that this is a structure that represents perhaps a falcon or perhaps a condor. Let's start our investigation by walking into the head of the bird. We're zooming in here to the top of the facility. We're going to be walking in the middle and looking at the buildings. This is actually the entrance, which is at the top of the top beak. And we're going to do a circle looking at the various structures. As you can see, on our left-hand side is the top beak. The bottom beak there. Let's walk over a little closer and take a look. There's the bottom, and you see the opening. This is the neck. Perhaps they represented colors separating the head and the body. That is the eye. And this is the top of the head, but if you notice, it looks like it was reconstructed. So I'm not sure if that was original or something that was done later, but still looks like the top of the head from viewing above. And back again, 360 to the opening of the mouth. Look how thick the wall is here. Quite a few stones. I mean, it doesn't look like an eye inside, but it is interesting how this part is higher. And of course it had a thatched roof at one point. Not sure what that looked like. But we're in the eye of the bird. Pretty cool. Look at these views. Jeez. Why do I call this the smoking gun? Well, because of all the structures on the facility, the wing is separated by a long, thin rock structure. Another supporting factor in the structure being the shape of a bird is the oddly placed structures. Not only where they are, but their actual shapes. You can see that the vast majority of the buildings are down here, which is where the head, the beak, the neck, and the top part of the head feathers are right here. Now this is the gap here you see in front of us, is the gap between the wing and the body. And this is a very strange building that literally just goes across the ground there, but purpose-built as well. So let's take a look at this smoking gun feature. There it is, coming across the courtway next to the wing. Here is the wing coming back toward the back of the body, and then we've outlined the structure itself. Now let's look a little closer, and you can see this is a skinny, long building in the middle of this open area, very specific to what it's supposed to be. Here from the middle of the facility, looking down upon the walled structure. Something else that I'm noticing looking at it from this perspective is the shape of the open area is very much similar to that of a bird. How you would have the top part, the back of the bird, and here, and then sloping down to the wings. Very interesting. Very well could have been they've simply used this whole entire mountaintop to represent the bird. And why this gully here? This is a very interesting feature. It curves down. These close-up satellite images looking from the rear to the front give us a better idea of the curve from the middle of the body down to the wings in the back and tail. And of course, no bird is complete without its feathers. And in this case, there are many examples. Look at this photograph where you have the blue representing the top feathers, the red being the tail feathers at the bottom of the structure, and tail feathers represented in the green at the top left corner of the satellite image. And now we have a bird's eye view, literally standing on the feathers of the body, looking toward the wing. I'm now standing on the tail feathers of the structure. This is the body, the bottom of the body. The wing itself coming along here, and on the outside is the main wing, and below is the head with the beak and the neck here. And as I said, behind me is the most narrow portion of the structure, and again it's 90-degree angles, and from the sky is very much looks like the tail. And of course, like all tails, it's narrow at the bottom part. We're going to go to the far side and look at the back of the bird as well. We're now looking at the top of the facility, or back of the bird. 90-degree angles representing the feathers of the upper back and neck, and still built with a defensive disposition against hostile forces. This investigation clearly confirms that the entire facility was purpose-built to represent an avian. The feathers of the body, the tail and tail feathers, the long back line and corresponding feathers, the head plumage and the neck, the head, which includes the eyes and beak, the main wing, and the structure that separates the main wing with the body. Today, we have further demonstrated that this site, which is called Puma Marca, is in fact a representation of a bird. We've looked at all the structures, which in some cases are out of place for a purpose-built structure. In fact, they're put there to further enhance the appearance of the bird, which was necessary, obviously. But the name of Puma Marca is not accurate. The Puma Marca is the place of a puma. But in fact, this location should be the Pájaro Lugar, or the place of the bird. This is your intrepid traveler and explorer, Robert Smith, signing out once again, and we look forward to seeing you on our next expedition and our next discovery. Over and out.